The war in Ukraine is no longer just a war. It has become the largest, longest, and most intense artillery duel the world has seen since 1945. Every day, tens of thousands of shells fly in both directions. Entire forests are turned into matchsticks. Villages disappear from the map. Yet in the middle of this storm of steel, one single weapon still forces everyone, Russian, Ukrainian, and Western analysts alike, to stop and take notice the moment it rolls forward. That weapon is the 2S4 Tyulpan, 240mm self-propelled mortar, the biggest operational mortar system on Earth in 2025. When a Tulpan fires, the battlefield literally shakes. The pressure wave is felt kilometers away. The muzzle blast alone can knock a grown man off his feet at 50 meters. And the shell, weighing as much as a grand piano, climbs almost straight up before falling nearly vertically onto the target at supersonic speed. One direct hit is usually all it takes to erase a reinforced concrete command bunker that has survived weeks of NATO-supplied 155mm precision fire. This is not science fiction. This is not a new wonder weapon. This is a Soviet design from 1967 that first rolled off the assembly line in 1972. And yet 53 years later, it remains the only non-nuclear system in the Russian arsenal capable of reliably killing the deepest, strongest Ukrainian fortifications built since 2022. Russia never built many. Total production was just over 400 vehicles. Today, only 12 to 18 are believed to be fully operational at any one time. The rest sit in deep storage bunkers, wrapped in cosmoline, waiting for the day the front needs them again. Every single active Tulpan is treated like a strategic asset. They move only at night. They are escorted by Tur M2 air defense vehicles and electronic warfare teams. They hide inside abandoned factories, under camouflage nets, or deep in pine forests. Because the moment Ukrainian intelligence detects one, everything, HIMARS, storm shadows, suicide drones, special forces, is thrown at it. Yet when a sector commander reports that his troops have been stopped cold for weeks by a Ukrainian stronghold buried under 3 meters of concrete and earth, Moscow still authorizes the Tulpan. The specifications are brutal in their simplicity. Caliber, 240mm, exactly twice the diameter of standard heavy artillery. Shell weight, 130 kilograms standard high explosive, 228 kilograms rocket-assisted, 230 kilograms with the rare active rocket projectile, introduced in 2023. Maximum range, 9,650 meters with normal rounds, 19,600 meters with rocket-assisted, and over 20 kilometers with the newest active rocket shells introduced in 2023. Warhead options, high explosive fragmentation, concrete-piercing Grom rounds that penetrate up to 2 meters of reinforced concrete before detonating, cluster, thermobaric, and, still in sealed storage, tactical nuclear shells from the Cold War era. The key advantage is the trajectory. While normal artillery flies in a relatively flat arc and hits the side of a bunker, the Tulpan fires almost vertically. The shell climbs thousands of meters into the sky and then falls straight down onto the roof, the weakest part of any underground structure. The effect is devastating. A direct hit collapses ceilings, crushes equipment, and turns protected command posts into mass graves in a single explosion. The crater left behind is typically 10 to 12 meters wide and 4 meters deep. Ukrainian soldiers have a name for it, the Black Sun. The Tulpan does not fire fast. Rate of fire is 1 round every 1 to 2 minutes at best. A trained crew can fire 3 or 4 shells and be gone in under 10 minutes. That is usually all that is needed. Real-world examples from 2024 to 2025 tell the story better than any spec sheet. Avdiivka, October 2023. After weeks of failed assaults on the chemical plant fortress, 2 Tulpans moved in under darkness, 3 shots each. The main Ukrainian command bunker, built inside a Soviet-era bomb shelter, simply ceased to exist. Russian infantry entered the ruins the next morning. Vuhledar, February 2024. Ukrainian Marines had turned the town into a hedgehog of concrete and mines. Russian attacks collapsed for months. Satellite imagery later confirmed at least 4 Tulpan strikes on the central strongpoint. After the fourth night of firing, the position fell within hours. Pokrovsk sector, November 2025. Fresh commercial satellite photos show new, giant craters exactly matching Tulpan impacts around the 25th Brigade command node. The pattern is repeating. Every single time, the sequence is identical. Conventional artillery fails, assaults bleed out, Tulpan is requested, 2 or 3 shots at night, position collapses, Russian flags go up. This is not volume of fire, this is surgical brutality. Modern upgrades have kept the old giant relevant. New digital fire control systems, tablet-based ballistic computers, integration with Orlan 30 and Zala drones for real-time spotting, and encrypted radio links mean a Tulpan today is far more accurate than its 1970s ancestor. Still, losses happen. Ukraine claims at least 6 confirmed kills since 2022, mostly by drone-dropped grenades or HIMARS strikes on staging areas. Each loss is felt deeply in the Russian artillery corps. The West has no direct equivalent. The largest mortar in NATO service is 120 millimeters. The United States destroyed its last 240 millimeter systems in the 1990s. Israel's old 240 millimeter mortars on Sherman chassis were retired decades ago. No one else ever built anything this big on tracks. That silence in Western arsenals is why quiet conversations are happening in NATO staff colleges right now. While the world focused on drones, hypersonics, and long-range missiles, Russia proved that sheer destructive mass, delivered straight from the sky, still has a decisive vote on the modern battlefield. The Tulpan is slow. It is huge. It drinks fuel like an aircraft. It needs a crane to reload. It is vulnerable the moment it stops moving. But when the order comes down that a certain Ukrainian fortress must disappear tonight, and nothing else has worked for weeks, there is still only one telephone number to call. And that number still answers in 2025. That is the cold, hard reality of ground warfare when both sides have had 3 years to dig in and pour concrete. Sometimes, the most advanced weapon in the world is not a $5 million guided missile. Sometimes it is half a ton of steel and high explosive dropped by a 53-year-old Soviet monster that simply refuses to become obsolete. If you want more calm, no BS breakdowns like this on the weapons that actually decide wars, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell right now. I drop new videos every day. Drop a comment. Were you surprised a 1970s mortar is still a frontline game changer in 2025? Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.